up, everybody? It's Omar. It is July 24th, 2017 p.m. 2017, I'm sorry, 7:24 p.m. in the evening. Just got back from the gym, and I'm going to try and do some watch list videos, building my watch list for a couple of days, talking about entry and exits, just so you guys can watch. Subscribe to my channel, share and like, please. I really appreciate it. And I want to talk about a couple of plays that I took today, and we're going to build our watch list. So one of the plays that I was in from yesterday was DRYS. So let me pull up DRYS real quick. And you can see DRYS was, I had a short position, 10,010 shares. I was short DRYS from the previous day I held overnight. And this is the pre-market here. And you can see that I was watching it in the pre-market. I was watching to see it start grinding up. So I started covering some of my profit, like right when it broke the pre-market. Like at this point, this was sort of the pre-market high over here. It touched 257 for a second, but I kind of like was watching it right around here. Once I saw it break here, I started covering. I covered like about half my position. Right into this break about 245. I covered about 5,000 shares, and then I watched it run, pre-market all the way to 280, and I got a little nervous. I mean, I still was up because my short was at 345. I was covered. I was executed at 345. Full. I averaged in. It was like 345, so I was up already. 10 grand. So. I saw it come up to about 284, and I saw that it, double topped here, and it started coming down, and then the market opens here, and it kind of ran up and it broke that pre-market high. And this is to tell you that just because a stock breaks high of day, so like there's a strategy called gap and go. When a stock breaks the pre-market high, like that's your entry, and that's the go. Like this is the gap, and that's the go. You go right when it breaks that. And you gotta be careful, because had you adopted that strategy and took a trade on this once it broke 284, look at this, it touched 299 for a second. And if you watch my videos, I talk about how whole numbers are psychological resistance barriers for people, and so there's no coincidence that people started selling at 299, because this is a dog shit company. It had very low flow. People are scared. They're trying to get in and out, and people just started selling. And that just came down, and short sellers started driving the price of the stock down. So once I saw it break 299, it gave me a sense of relief that the stock was gonna kind of collapse. And you notice here, it kind of starts selling off, forms this lower high here. So if you had, I think the cost to borrow the shorts is like outrageous. So I don't know who's paying to short DRYS at this point. Even if they have shares, it's supposed to be ridiculous. But this would have been a good entry, 295, because it formed the lower high, risking the high of day here, which is 299. You risk 4 cents to make the low of the day, which is 230. So. Actually, it would be the previous support level, which would have been 271, right here. Actually, no, sorry, 282 right here. So, the stock kind of collapsed, and I just held pretty much all day. I just saw that it kept forming these, lower highs. It kept bouncing, forming lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. And towards the end of the day, right into and around, I think it was around right in here, I actually started I covered another like 4,000 shares into this spike right here, 228, and then I got 1,000 shares remaining, so I'm holding those. Tomorrow I'll have to cover, E-Trade will cover me out one way or another, so I'll cover, and I'll make a nice profit. All right, so all said and done, I'll probably make about $12,000 or something like that. So it was a great trade for me. Today, I took I dip bought a stock. So I saw P running pre-market, and it ran up to like 1033 because some analysts like upgraded the stock. So it was like some bullshit news, and then it just kind of started selling off. So I was watching it with a side eye because I was working and stuff. And it's just hard to do both, but so I had a chance to see, and I was watching it with a side eye, kind of sell off, and I wanted to short it earlier, but I wasn't sure. I was I don't know, I wasn't comfortable only because I wasn't going to be able to really pay attention to it. But what really caught my attention was that it kind of consolidated here, and then it kind of like sold off right into this area, and then it bounced up, and then I saw the consolidation here. So I said, okay, let me see if it breaks below this consolidation. Maybe I'll risk to, maybe I'll risk this as my entry and maybe take a short on it. But I said, I think this is going to be the bottom, and it's going to start to grind up. And sure enough, is what happened. I made a video yesterday talking about this. So look, the stock finds its support level, it kind of pops, and then it forms this lower high. So this is the lower high right here, right? This is the low of that lower high, which was the low is 957. So right in here, when I saw that it was starting to get some volume, I bought. I took what was it? I think I took, what was it, 2,000? Was it? Yeah, 2,000. I think I took a 2,000 share position here, risking the low, the previous support level, which was, so, I got in here and I risked only a couple of cents. All right, so it's great risk reward, and I just rode this all the way up. And if you notice here, it just started getting volume. And what I'm really looking at to stay in is to see the volume. So you look at let me zoom in. You see how there's buying, all this buying here. You see all these green bars. There's all this buying, but very little selling. That made me comfortable to know, oh, okay, this is people just buying the stock, so it's going to drive the price of the stock up. So since there's no selling pressure, I'm going to stay in. Also, what you always do is you should just, as in the angle that the stock is riding up, you just put a trend line, and as long as the stock rides the trend, you just stay in, and that gives you a nice confirmation. So you see, it's just buying, buying, buying. Let me zoom in a bit more here. If you notice, this is buying, buying, buying. Very little selling. All right, so you know that the price of the stock's going to go up. And you're watching level 2. You're seeing more buyers than sellers. You're watching the time and sales. You're just seeing a bunch of green prints going through. So that gave me a nice confirmation to hold. And I saw it top out here, 981, and come back. I didn't sell. I got a little greedy. I should have just sold right into here. But I saw that it kind of like it touched 976, and then it started grinding back up. So I just put a little trend line here just to see. Okay, I say, all right, this is a new support level. Let's see what happens. And then I saw it get some volume here, and then for a second it broke the 981 marks. I said, oh shit, it may go higher, and it didn't. It kind of came back down. Once I saw this consolidation, I knew that it was time to sell. So I sold right into this 981 here, and I covered here. So I made a nice little, I think it was like $400+ profit. So it was nice, nice profit, nice day for me. And then you could have just shorted this down, especially once it broke. A clear short entry would have been, I mean, you could have risked this high and just took it short, because you notice right here it pops right here and it doesn't break the 981. So right in here could have been a great entry, risking that 981 again. It's just another confirmation that it can't break 981. So it should have been a nice clear entry for you to short right in here, and you could have just rolled this back right down. And and this is a big name company. I mean, look at the amount of shares it has available. So think or swim, everybody would have had shares to short of this company. And look at this, could have been a nice easy short. Now I didn't have the time to look at it anymore, so I didn't short it, but I should have, because I could have bought it up and bought it down. So it was a nice play for me. And that was the play that I took today, other than DRYS, that I'm still in. And I actually, no, I'm lying. I shorted Hertz. I don't know why I forgot that. Yeah, I actually saw Hertz. I honestly, I always look at Hertz. I didn't put it on my watch list, but I always look at it because it's very volatile, and it's been like it's just been moving with a lot of range. And I happened to catch Hertz somewhere. It was somewhere in this range, as it was kind of gapping up, and I just watched it, and I saw that it formed this lower high, and then I formed this higher low right here, and right here was 1637. So I thought, hey, you know what, it ain't breaking the higher day. And once I saw it started reversing, I took a short on it, very small. I only took, I think it was like, I don't know, I didn't have a lot of margin left in my account, so it was E-Trade. So it just I think it was like, I don't know, like 200 shares, and so it wasn't much, and I just shorted it down. I think I got executed here in it was like 1627, and I just rode it down till it found its support level here. Once I saw it kind of had just covered. It was a quick little short. I made, I don't know, what was it, like, I don't know, like what was it, like I don't know, it was like 80 bucks I made, something like that. Not a lot of money. Now I had the time, I would have held through this, you know. And I'm gonna fund my account with much more money, so I'll be able to take much bigger size. I'm just trying to figure out how to like make all this work from work. Like it's been a struggle trying to trade from work, and you know, I don't want to. When I was with Centerpoint and I had a lot more money and size, you know, I was it was hard like for me to trade. So you know, I've been trading with less size because I'm just trying to find my rhythm. So with that said, let me build my watch list for tomorrow. So what I do is I look for stocks within the price range. Now you can always, you know, look for your own range, but I look for stocks, let me just show you, between 20 cents and $90 that are up 5% for the day with a minimum volume of 500,000 shares. And when you click scan, we got 53 plays. And that is actually here. So what we'll do is we'll just go through the charts really quickly. I try to make these short, but when you create a watch list, it's hard to make a short video unless I build the watch list in advance. And I'm doing this in real time. I don't like think this out in advance. I'm just doing this. This is all organic. So Tops is up, and I told people yesterday that Tops was gonna, you know, there was a probability that Tops was gonna run. I saw this. I did not take a trade on it. And you see I have the trend line here. I should have, because all I had to do was follow the trend, and the trend was my friend. But I don't know. I was scared of the volatility. It was just sort of like all over the place, you know. So I was kind of scared to take a trade on it, and I didn't. I mean, a clear entry would have been right here once it broke the high of day at this point. But you know, you don't really know. And the reason why people are putting their money in Tops is because, you know, it's cheap and it's affiliated with ships. It's in the same industry now. Is it gonna be on the watch list? Yeah, because if I was you, and if you have like interactive brokers, I know E-Trade gonna have shares to short, but if you have interactive brokers, you know, you may be able to get shares to short of this. I would, because this is dog shit, and it's gonna come back down to like that, you know, 20-cent range. Absolutely gonna come back down. So I'm gonna put it on the watch list just for that reason. I don't expect it to pop tomorrow, but you never know. I mean, maybe it will. All right, next up, ELTK. Yeah, I saw this as well, and I caught this like right in this 120 range, and I wasn't gonna chase it. So, you know, it popped to 145. It came down. It kind of formed this lower high here, and this would have been a great entry to short. So let me just remove all these trend lines. See, I was just, you know, I watch the market even when I'm not trading. Like I'll just watch. Every chance I get, I look at things. You know, even if I'm not gonna be able to make a trade. So you see, it has this pop here, and here it forms this lower high, and right here, this is where you would have had a great entry to short it, risking that high of day at 145, and you know, it came all the way down, and it found its kind of range at this 104 level, and you know, let's see, and it just kind of formed. It's kind of traded in this channel. And if you notice here, you know, it kind of double topped here, triple topped, and you know, came back down. And once it broke that support level, that would have been a great entry. Look at this. And that's how guys like Tim Grittani and Steven Ducks make a shitload of money, because they know that it exhausted itself at its 145. More than likely, it's not going to get back there. So every time the stock pops, they just buy more shares to short, and they size in. So they'll take like, you know, so this is what I do too with a bigger account, right? So let's say I was looking at this. I would have started shorting in this 127 range. So I would have put like maybe 5,000 share position. And then I'm just holding. And I'm saying, okay, this is the support. Now, if it doesn't break 145, I'm going to stay in. And when this pop happens, they buy more shares to short. And it comes down and they buy more shares to short. And that's all. And these squeezes are short sellers just covering. That's all it is. That's all it really is. It's just short sellers covering. And then look, you know, the impending doom happens, and then it collapses. And then right here, once it breaks this clear support level, this is another entry to short, and you could have took this down. It's just, you know, the problem is just finding a brokerage that has the shares to short. So sometimes E-Trade has shares to short of these. But, you know, if you want to, if people ask me, where do you go to where the interactive brokers. I mean, if you can. If not, go with, you know, Centerpoint is great, but they're very expensive, but their executions are like amazing. Customer service is amazing, but you know, they're very pricey. So, you know, go with interactive brokers and you'll be fine with them. E-Trade is okay, not great though for shorting. They, you know, the high price stocks, they're fine, but the low price stocks, they're not that good. So is it going to be on my watch list? That's the question. So I don't know what the news is. Usually what I'll tell you is that if the stock is above its average volume, which, you know, I can research and check to see. So like if you want to know, okay, what's its normal volume, ELTK, you can go to finviz.com. Let me pull it up. And you can type ETLK. And you can see, oops, did I put it wrong? ELTK, sorry about that, guys. ELTK. And you can see, all right, what's its average volume? 6,000 shares. All right, so it's way above that. All right, it's traded 6 million shares. So is it gonna be on the watch list? Yeah, I mean, it should be on the watch list because it's so far above its normal range, and it had some receiving order up to 3 million shares for, I don't know, there was some for a governmental authority. Technology solution field product. Now say receive an order from so a government, so some sort of government agency, you know, put in an order for the company. So I guess that's gonna, you know, make it more profitable. So it's some bullshit news. I don't think it's gonna, you know, that doesn't mean, you know that it's sort of one, I guess it won a contract. So you know, it may have a small pop at the open. We'll see, but more than likely, because this is a dog shit company. If we look at the yearly chart, all right, this is a stock that is always. Let me take this off. Give me 1 second. Show only last period. Yes. Apply. Okay. All right. So you know, this is a stock that's in the 55-cent range. It's still in the 90-cent range. So yeah, I mean, if you can find shares to short of this, yeah, I would look to short it, you know, if they're available. All right, next up, APIX, nope. This is a NASDAQ company. Oh, it's moving, but it's bullshit. It got some sort of secondary offering. That's why it's up. You know, it's, you know, from 25 cents to 50 cents. That's not a bad move, you know, but it's bullshit. It's it's not liquid. Next up, CNXR, nope. SGMS, yeah, I saw this too, and look at this. This is a stock where, you know, this is that ABCD pattern that I talk about, right? So remember, this was in yesterday's video. Stock ramps up, and look, this is a NASDAQ stock. This is a $30 stock. So don't listen to Tim Sykes bullshitting you that, you know, these higher price stocks don't have range. They're fucking crazy. This stock went from $28 to $35. I mean, what did they talk? I mean, don't listen to his bullshit, you know. You know, so this stock went from, you know, 28, and it opened up, and in a matter of minutes, this shit shot up to like, you know, $30+, which is insane. So even a 100-share position would have made you, you know, a nice chunk of change, right? But look, this is the A. So here's the high, right? And actually, this is the high day. Let's remove this. So I'm gonna show you how you trade this. How you trade this. So if you missed the spike, yeah, I missed the spike. Well, let me show you what you do. So you see the spike moving, right? Right here is the high day. So you gotta use support and resistance. You see, I'm not using any trend lines now, right? So here's the high day at this point, right? So you see it's like triple topping, right? So now it's pulling back. It's coming back to VWAP, right? And you see it touched VWAP, but now it's starting to gap up. It can't break VWAP, right? So what you always want to do is you want to say, okay, what's the support? So whatever the low is at that moment is the support level. And if you notice here, it gaps up and it forms a higher low. You see how it's going up, and then it's kind of coming down, but you see it's not going back and touching that low, right? So if you're watching this, you want to wait to see the higher form, low form, and it always happens like around the afternoon, usually between 11 and 1. You start noticing it starts getting volume. The volume starts picking up. You see the volume here? It's not a lot of selling, a lot of buying. So what you would do is, once you see this spike up and it pulls back, now it forms this new support level. What you can do is you can then buy at this point. So this is where you would get in this 32.32 range, risking the 31.72, where you're like, well, Omar, that's a big range. But remember, you're not buying, you know, 1,000 shares of this stock. You're buying, you know, 100 shares, 200 shares of this stock. So if it goes against you, you lose 50, 70, $90. You're not losing a ton of money. But look, you see how it holds itself and then it breaks. So let's review this. This is A, right? So to the high. This is B, all right? Now what you want to do is, once it finds a support, really the key, if you're a smart trader, you're not waiting for the breakout to happen. What you're doing is you're placing your trade here, okay? And what your goal is to get back to the higher day. So what you really want to do is you want to get somewhere within here or here, risking the high of day. So if I would have got it at 32.32, my target would have been that high of 32.74. So this is A, this is B, this is C, and the breakout is D. That's called the ABCD pattern. All right. Now you could say, all right, I'm gonna hold to C, because remember, just because a stock breaks out to new highs doesn't mean it's gonna sustain itself. What normally happens is when the stock breaks out, it pops on everybody's higher day scanners, and then a lot of people jump in and then they just ride it up. You know, but if you're smart, you would have gotten here and got out. You can get out here, but you could have held and then rolled this up, and look how far you would have got $2 more out of this shit. So that's the pattern. All right, study that pattern, guys. Look at the stocks that have these big rips and see what happens. Some of them fade, but look to see what happens when they continue up. Usually they come back down, they touch VWAP, and VWAP usually plays support, and you notice they start forming higher lows, they start trending higher, and when you see the next clear support level before the high of day, that's your entry. And then you go in and then you risk the low, and then you just take it for a ride, you know. And then once you're in, you know, make sure to always put that trend line. So if I would have got in here, I definitely would have, you know, had a trend line, you know, watching this to see. And once it breaks the trend, you take it for a short, you know, nice easy short. All right, so that's how you do it. You see I'm using support and resistance lines. Now on the 5-minute chart, I still use the 13 EMA with VWAP. It's a nice indicator. I use the RSI and the MACD, and I'm looking at all that, you know, just for confirmation. But really, I really make trades off the 1-minute time frame. Now, is this gonna be on my watch list? Yeah, look at this thing got to $35 and then it went back down to $33. You know, for that late day fade. You know, I wish I had the time to watch stocks all day, man. I'd probably be already at $1 million, to be quite honest with you. All right, so that's gonna be on the watch list. Let's keep moving. WMBD, nope. Look at this, nah. MBVX, nah, it's choppy. Has some earnings. Oh, August 14th. PETS, look at this. Look at this move. Pre-market, this thing started at $40. It went up to $48, which is nuts. You know, look what happens. Stock spikes, stops, pulls back. Now it broke below VWAP, so it's at this point it's bearish. You know, but then it kind of like gaps up and it finds its support level. So right here, this kind of plays it as support, and if you notice, it starts gapping up. You know, so right there, that's where you take the buy. That's the dip buy. So when a stock gaps up, it sells off, it finds a support, and you just buy the dip, risking the low. So you could have risked the low here, 42.82, once you got in at 43.50. You know, and just rode this all the way up. You know, so you see how it kind of gaps up from this higher low, bounces off VWAP. This is a great trade. A lot of people do this. They look for the VWAP kiss, where it touches VWAP, and then they just play it and it just bounces up and it went crazy. Now this is probably overextended, and it'll probably be a good short tomorrow. You know, even 100 shares, guys. You know, if you can afford it, that's what, $4,800. You might get like 400 or 500. This might pull back 4 points. You know, so. You know, the only thing that scares me about these stocks is sometimes the spread be too crazy. When the spread is like really far apart, I just stay away from them. All right, so let's move on. ACRX, nope. GNCA is moving, and it's moving after hours. I mean, it's choppy, but I'm gonna put it on the watch list just because it has this range. You know, so remember, price action is gonna dictate tomorrow what I'm gonna do. I don't know what the stock is gonna do. It's pretty. You know, it had this nice move from $5 to $6 and moved the whole point. You know, probably has some news. But we'll see what happens. The price, remember, the patterns, support and resistance will let me know if it's worth making a play on. All right, IDXG had this move, and it's sort of holding this 98 cents level. It never holds its every time IDXG moves, it always pulls back. So, you know, I would be looking to see if you can short this tomorrow. It might have a pop at the market open, like really quick. You know, so if you buy, you know, you got to get in and get out really quickly. All right, CNCE, yeah, it had this nice crazy rip from 14 to 16 bucks, and then look at this nice fade all day. And if you're watching this, look, this is the high, pulls back, forms a lower high here. So if you had caught it, you know, at this rip, you're looking for the short. That's why it's good to know both. And right here, I would have shorted it, risking the 1650, and took this for a short. You see, it never gets back up, and it just fades. You know, would have been a nice, easy short. I like shorting. I think shorting is a lot simpler than longing. You know. So yeah, we'll put it on the watch list because it's so overextended. LDC, nope. Now this looks like, guess what this looks like? A pump. So if you look at this stock, right, let's look at the last 20 days. This stock was less than a penny. It went from that, it went from 9 cents all the way up to 70 cents. So this is a pump. So, you know, what's going to happen is the pump is going to continue until it gets more volume. So you see here how it's the volumes increase. Well, no, not today actually. Let's do 1 year. So what happens is, look, right, 36,000 shares on 7-11, 7-12, 83,000 shares, 700,000 shares on 7-17, 1 million shares on 7-18, 2 million shares on 7-19, 4 million shares on 7-20, 3 million shares on 7-21, 1 million shares. So this probably will continue to be pumped and until they get a little bit more volume, and then what happens is all the insiders that are in on the pump will pull their shares and then it crashes. So that's what this is. This is a clear pump, you know. So be careful. Stay away from these stocks. All right, RVP, nope. RETA, you know, this is, you know, way above its normal price. Like if this thing, what I would do, me personally, is this, right? So I see that this is a clear support level. I would put an alert right here to tell me, hey, if the mark is at or below, I'm sorry, 34.49, and then what you do is you hit create. So that way, if I was like, you know, this thing will alert me once it breaks that, because then this is a clear short. Look at this shit. There's nothing stopping this from getting back to 32 bucks. All right. So, you know, it's good to, you know, Thinkorswim is amazing. It's far superior than anything else. Trust me. Now, is it going to be on the watch list? Yeah, I'll put it on the watch list. Why not? It's so overextended. You know, you take a look at it. And I always get questions, what does my watch list mean? I'm just looking for volatile stocks, and the market will tell. I'm looking for stocks with range. The market will tell me if I'm going to trade the stock or not. Yeah, Blue Apron had some nice movement today. It got up to 787, and then look at this clear. Look at this. It pulls back on the 5-minute, touches the 13 EMA, bounces up, but forget about the indicators. Look at this. On the 1 minute, 787, it bounces, comes back up, forms a lower high of 781. Right here. I mean, you could have shorted it here or and risking 787 or here. So let's say you got in, here 776, right? Thinking, oh, okay, I'm gonna short it here because it's the lower high, and then it breaks up. That's okay because you're risking high a day, and it's not, and you're not risking a lot because what is this, 776? So you know you're risking 11 cents, you know, to make, you know, this pulls back all the way to 738. You know, so you're making 50 cents. The risk reward is fantastic had you taken a short on it, you know. So these are the things that I want you to start looking at when you're trading stocks, guys. Now, is it gonna be on the watch list? 623. Yeah, I put it on the watch list. It probably had some news, you know. And what happens is, let's say it had like great earnings or beat estimates. Sometimes these stocks run for days. So it's good to just you know, put it on the watch list. You don't really lose anything by putting it on watch list. NIHD, nope. RGLS, nope. IMGN, yeah, IMGM, yeah, this is a stock that moves with nice range. You know, it's held its highs. That's why I'm in it. You know, it may continue higher. This stock usually, when it starts running, gets all the way up to like $8. We'll see what happens tomorrow. So, you know, but it looks good. Nice. It should be volatile tomorrow. 4 million shares traded. We'll see. The market will tell us how to trade this. All right, DVAX. This thing went from 9 to 1075. You know, it's choppy. It's hard on a you know, for a momentum play. It's kind of difficult to get a sense of how to trade this, but it is high, and I'll put it on the watch list just for that. It did hold its high, so we'll put it on there. NWBO. AXON. This is, you know, I don't know. It's too volatile for me. You can put it on your watch list. I'm not gonna put it on mine. I don't like the chart. AKCA is another one where it's just so choppy. I mean, stock was $9 5 days ago. So I mean, you may want to trade it for a swing trade. Maybe it's worth a swing trade. You can look at the fundamentals and see what's driving the stock. Why is it moving so much? I'll put it on it just for that. But for a day trade, I probably wouldn't trade this because I wouldn't really know what direction to trade it. It's so all over the place. FNMAS, nope. BITCF, man, these Bitcoin things are moving again. HRRF, not. I mean, it had this crazy move up, but you know, it's not very liquid. You see, it's not a lot of liquidity. I mean, but you know, maybe it's worth a swing. It was 1940 5 days ago, so maybe it's worth a shot. RYAM, you know, this thing had this crazy rip. So you see how it gaps all the way up, it comes all the way down. It doesn't find a clear support level. You see it touches VWAP and it comes back down. So a stock like this, you know, it's not giving you a sense of where to get in. Like if the only clear entry for me to get in for an upward trend is when I see it go here, touch VWAP and come down, and then it finds a support level here. So this is called a double bottom. A double bottom is a bullish sign. So because it double bottom, let's say you know, supposedly I had caught it right here and I said, oh, okay, it's not breaking 1564. I would have, you know, taken a trade long on it, you know, risking VWAP. So my exit, my goal is for it to touch VWAP, and you could have took a long, and that's probably why people bought it, because they saw the double bottom and they get bullish on it, and you see it kind of goes up and then it forms this higher low, new resistance point of 1577 right here, and it just comes up. See, it went up to 1602, tap, and then it came back down. You could have shorted it. So, you know, these are the things that I want you to see. So when a stock finds its clear support level, you know, you see it come up and forms a new support level, you know, you can risk getting in, risk the previous support level, risking VWAP or the next support level, which would have been, the next support level here was 1614. So that could have been right here. This could have been your exit. This is what you're risking. You say, hey, this is my goal, to get back to this support level. And this is how traders trade. And they do this without, you know, the indicators. You know, a lot of people, you don't use indicators. To be honest with you, the people I know that make the most money don't even use indicators. They just use support and resistance, to be quite honest with you. Now, is this going to be on the watch list? I mean, it is overextended and it is consolidating, so it's going to break one way or the other. You could put it on your watch list. You know, I'll put it on there just because. Alright, so let's keep moving. CMBX is moving again. This is at 122. It hit a high of 165. It's coming down. I think it's a wheat stock. You know, it's choppy, not very liquid. I'm not going to trade it. Is it getting more? Nah, I'm not going to put it on my watch list. ACR, nah. SPEX, nope. Nope. CVRX, nope. BDSI, nope. TVR, nope. These are all choppy crap. Light, look at light, lithium. I mean, look at this. It touched it. This is that ABCD. It doesn't seem like it, but look, right? This is the previous day's close price. It goes up to $64, right? So at this point, this is higher day. So you always want to make sure you put your trend line there. Then it forms this lower high. Right here, you could have took it for a short, because once you see that it forms a lower high, you see it's losing steam. Right here, you could have took a short entry and took this down. And then it breaks below it, but it kind of comes back up. So this is all over the place. But if you notice here, it kind of comes back up, comes back up, comes back up. It's like sort of hovering right here. This is sort of its support level. So if you see right here, right, this seems to be a support level, the 63.22, and you see it comes up and it finds its new support here at VWAP. You could theoretically take a trade on it right here using the previous support level as your out. Now, because it's so expensive, right, you're just gonna take 100-200 share position. So even if it goes against you, you know, even if it went down to 63.18, you had 100 shares, you lose 80-90 bucks. But look how much this went in. So let's say you would have taken the entry at 63.74. Now 2020 hindsight, you would have to have been watching this kind of all day. But let's say you would have quit. Look at this, 64, 65, 66, 67. It went all the way $68. So 100 shares would have got you $500. That's what I'm trying to tell you, that these higher price stocks, they move in so many points. And you're always going to have shares to short. You never have to worry. Even with Thinkorswim, there'll always be shares available. Because look at how many shares it traded is. So yeah, is this going to be on the watch list? Absolutely. And it's probably going to pull back a little bit tomorrow. The only thing that scares me about these stocks, again, is the spreads. The spreads sometimes be crazy. once. Look at this. This was $59 5 days ago. 100 shares would have got you what? 169's $1,000, almost $2,000. You'd be up if you were taking this for a swing. I'm gonna put it on the watch list just because the range is crazy. You know, AGEN looks like it's 440 now. It's at 541. You know, it's choppy, but it's moving. You may want to take it for a swing. So I'll put it on the watch list just cause. And guys, I'm putting this on the watch list. Doesn't mean I'm trading them more. I'm just putting them on the watch list. RVNA, TK. TK seems to be moving. You know, with 706 and now it's at 817. Look, it found its resistance at 817. So what I would be looking to see tomorrow is it gonna break 817? And if it doesn't, I'd be looking to take it for a short. You know, because that's probably that's becoming its resistance point. And then you always want to see what's the next resistance point. So you pull up the year. Let me pull up TK again. So you pull up the yearly chart, and you know, once you pull up the yearly chart, you go, okay, what's the next resistance point after 817? The next one is 844. All right. So if it breaks 817, you can look to see, yeah, 845. I'm sorry, 845 is the next resistance point. So that's your next target price. All right, 845. So, but if it doesn't break it, I mean, it might pull back kind of, you know, nicely. We'll see. We'll see. All right. So, anybody tells you they know what a stock is gonna do is full of shit. IIVI, nope. MRNS, nope. This is all choppy crap. IONS, look at this shit. This was $51 5 days ago. It's at $59. You cannot ignore these higher price stocks, man. You can't. It's just so much range and there's so little risk. You know, you take 100 shares and you make $500. That's how you grow your account, guys. You know, it's not, it's not the big wins. It's base hits that's gonna build your account over time. All right, BZUN. Yeah, I was watching this too today. You know, I saw it pull up and, you know, kind of formed this double top, this head and shoulders pattern. It was a clear, easy short, man. But you know, I didn't have the time to trade it. But like I said, sometimes I'll just put trend lines and come back and see what the stock's doing. I'll put on the watch list, BZUN, and one last stock, LACDF, which is another dog shit pump. So no. All right. So these are the stocks on my watch list. You know, for tomorrow. Obviously, let's look at the. You know, so these are the stocks that are on my watch list for tomorrow. I don't know what's going to be my #1 play. We'll see pre-market. We'll see how things are moving. I get a sense of what's looking at. I traded IMGN before. I probably look at that, a couple others. But this is my watch list for tomorrow, folks. I know this video is a little longer than usual, but I'll post the watch list to Twitter, watchotrade. So make sure you subscribe. Follow me on YouTube as well. And have a great evening, folks.